Yesterday, we did witness the first day of gains in the week. We do have a strong handover as well from across the globe. So what can we watch out for this morning? Let's find out from our chartists, Dr. C.K. Narayan and Kunal Bothra joining in this Thursday morning as always. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for being with us. Let's begin with you then, Dr. Narayan. Strong terrain bases the global handover. What are you penciling in for the index, and share with us some of your top ideas?
Yesterday's trading action was quite encouraging, mainly because the Bank Nifty closed once again above the consolidation, and it did so with a little bit of robustness, well supported by most of the big banking names. And interesting to see private banks, public sector banks, and the non-banking area, the financial services stocks, all of them in good amount of action. So clearly fresh buying there and fresh reconsideration of possibilities. Now, if you look at the Nifty versus Bank Nifty, the Nifty has already moved something like 60%, whereas compared to that, the Bank Nifty has moved just about 30-35%. So clearly the Bank Nifty has a lot of catching up to do, and maybe this clearance of the consolidation zone is something which shall lead to that event happening. So we can look forward to the day and a couple of days ahead as something which could be positive. Given that as a background, two buy calls for today. First up, United Phosphorus, UPL. Now UPL fell back from the 62% retracement in that post-March rally, but that important resistance zones could not send the stock down much, and it did only succeed sending it to the intermediate term support trend line, and prices have bounced back from there yet again, done so on good volume and revival of momentum. I would believe UPL now once again will try to make an attempt at going towards 460 or higher, can buy with a stop of about 7-8 points from entry. Second stock to buy would be Hind Petro. I think this is a stock wherein it's attempting now to put up a higher bottom. Stock has not seen a big trend since the March lows, and it's on the verge of crossing above the first swing high that it created post the March low. And I think once it does that, it should be enabled to go till about 225, 230, buy with a stop at about 208.
Alright, watch out for some of those individual stocks that Dr. Narayan is betting on. He spoke of UPL as well as HPCL within the ONCs. Morning, Kunal. Good to have you back. Share with us your top trading strategies this morning and how you think the index is likely to shape up. Do you think second straight day it'll be a day of gains?
So I believe that the markets now would probably want to be going for a carry forward move. I think the last 2-3 days or last 3-4 days particularly, we've been seeing one off day on the positive side and one day on the negative side, and majority of the move it generally pans out on the gap side itself. So I think let's hope today that it would be slightly different in that regards, where the markets would not just open with a decent gap up, but even want to continue the move on the upside even on an intraday basis. Now the positives saw the highlights yesterday, and that the one key highlight was the reduction in the discount for the Nifty futures. That I believe is a very important signal, because day before yesterday the discount on the Nifty at one point was almost 80-85 points on the current month futures, and that got reduced to 30-35 points just about yesterday. So I think that's going to be interesting to see. It generally indicates that it could result into short covering as well if the discount tends to narrow significantly. So I think that regards, that's the one I highlight to watch out for. Stock wise, I'm selecting two buy calls, and the first one is a buy from the banking pack, and ICICI Bank is the first stock which I would want to select. I think that stock looks extremely strong. You look at the chart setup as well, it's almost like a perfect inverse head and shoulder pattern. The stock is about to make 375 or 380 approximately is the breakout point of this inverse head and shoulder pattern for ICICI Bank. So I would suggest a buy from a very short term view, expecting just around this 380 mark as a near term target, and stop loss to be kept at 350. The second would be a buy on Bharti Airtel. Now on one hand, the stock seems to be consolidating, going through a sideways range. But then when you try and look at the setup in the last 1 month approximately, it's forming two kind of patterns. One of them is a bullish flag pattern, more on the slightly medium term charts, and the other is a triangular pattern, and the stock has come back to a support trend line on the triangular pattern side. So I think on this 555, 560 mark, there are some multiple supports for Bharti Airtel. So I'm expecting that the stock could probably take a high probability bounce from current levels, Hence, Saban Bharti Airtel targets of 590, stop loss 550.